Morning, this is Wendy. We are in Golden Gate Canyon State Park. It's west of Denver, up in the foothills. One of the peaks is 10,000. So we came in the back way, and we are now here at Bootleg Bottom, and our intention is to hike down here to Fraser Meadow, maybe a little past. We'll see how we feel when we get down there and back up to the car. We are at this historic building, but it was a bit of a climb to get up to it, so we're both a little breathless, so Joy decided I should be talking. It's okay. Back in Prohibition days, according to the sign that I'm standing in front of, this was a moonshine still. And as we came around the corner, there's a dry stream bed at the bottom. We came around the corner and we saw the beginnings, or just a little bit of a car. The hood cover and windshield is all we saw down in the stream bed. Anyway, moonshine steel. I'm sorry, this is the cabin where they made and delivered skunk whiskey. Illegal still, yeah.
It's a nice cabin.
It is. There was a squirrel running along up and back behind it, checking to see if there's still any whiskey, I guess. There you are. There he is. You still on? Okay. Look, there he goes. Ooh, got a cone. But the old gals part of Two Old Gals Adventure comes in here because we keep getting passed by these young folk with dogs, and we slog, trudge, but make it up the hill. There's some snow on the ground, patchy, but snow. One of the other reasons we chose this trail is it's supposed to be a high temperature of 54, which is a little, I still have southern blood, having spent way too much time in Florida. And 54 does not feel or sound warm. That would have been okay, but the winds were going to be blowing up to 15 and gusting to 30. So we thought the Bootleg Bottom might be a little protected. We looked at the map again. Turns out the Coyote Trail, the trail we're on, is ranked as most difficult. And we were just going, oh, again, wrong, not a bottom trail. So Joy is trying to work her way up this rock face. She loves her hiking poles, but they don't do well on a rock face unless you have some kind of a different tip to them. So right now she's a little stuck. The plan was she would get up to the top and then turn around and film me trying to get up there. I'm going to stop talking for a while. All right, my turn. I'm holding the mic because my voice is so soft that the mic often doesn't pick me up unless I've got it right on my body. Okay, rock face. And you sort of hate doing this because these lichens, it takes them forever to grow. I made it.
Yeah, you do better than me.
Well, same long legs.
Go back to the really rock survey part. So we're going down this time. Not ready to get ahead of it a little bit.
And this is where, as need be, I'm either going down 3-point, which is 2 feet and a hand, or I'm going down 4-point, 2 feet and 2 hands, or when it gets really ugly, I'm going to 5-point, which is 2 feet, 2 hands, and my butt. So we'll see how it goes. I'm 3 points right now. Well, and not the butt yet. But stay tuned. Okay. And part of the trick is just finding a nice stable surface to put your foot on. If you're putting your butt down, well, you want something without a whole lot of points on it. There are some places where they have created steps. Joy is actually standing on one where they created a flat spot. When she gets down, she might be able to point the camera at where they drilled through the what looks like granite to me. Yeah. And the other hard part about this rocky stuff is there are numerous possibilities of where to put your foot, hand, butt, and sometimes it's hard to find the best spot. We clambered up some rocks on the way up, and then we said, oh look, there's a trail that walks around it. But so far so good.
Easier coming down.
So far so good.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Sorry.
I might not be able to hear just
Oh, with the wind, yeah. Yeah. You can probably still hear us sniffing. You might not be able to hear us talking. You can tell that the wind is blowing. When Joy gets to where I am, she'll show you the steps that they built to help us get down. Yeah, this is the so far so good spot. I'm about to go across the rock face, and then Joy will be filming when she gets here. This looks like a butt on the ground to me, because there's not really a nice flat spot to put your foot. There is a bit of a sort of ledge. pretty. Another rock face. And the trail is, okay. This is actually when I sort of like having the backpack on because it's a counterweight. Joy's throwing pebbles at me. Just one, actually. And this is where you say, pride goeth before a fall, so I'm putting my butt down. When I was a kid, went to visit relatives in Vermont, and there was a big old boulder, glacial boulder in the middle of their field, one of their hay fields, and not being real aware of consequences, as rocks, yeah. I was 7, what did I know? We all took turns sliding down the rock face until by the time I got back to the house, I don't think I had a rump in whatever pants I was wearing. I just slid right on through them. No seat at all. Don't imagine my parents were all that thrilled. I also don't imagine they were all that surprised.
Imagine those pants stayed in Vermont.
I don't know. They might have made me wear them here. Probably not. All right, we have made it to a relatively flat spot, which means it's not all rock, there's actually some dirt. Woohoo! All right, one of the things that we just really take for granted is the trail. We were hiking down this one, and I was going, look at this. The trail people constructing this trail built this wall to make a flat walking surface. And yeah, some of these are small stones, but good gosh, they found them and they brought them in here and they piled them on top of each other in a 12-foot section. And then a little further up the trail, they built, I think it's called a water bar. So when the water runs down this bit of a slope, it hits here and goes off further downhill and doesn't erode the trail. And it's just, you don't often notice how much work got put into this, so we can have a better experience hiking. Well, we made it back. It was 4.17 miles in 3 hours and 56 minutes. So that's pretty good.
Well,
and that included about a 45-minute break at the turnaround point. But that was a tough trail, and it's listed as most difficult on the list of trails out here. And I can agree with it. That was tough. For 4 miles, I'm beat.